Yes, Stephen. So you are going to draw me, Bane. Do you really think you can draw me? You give these people false hope. You think anyone can draw? You're a fool. Only I, Bane, knows what these people really need. And that is for you to stop. I am your reckoning. What do you want me to break first? Your pencils or your spine? You shall be defeated, and your punishment will be very severe. Until next time, Stephen, you will be destroyed.
Oh my gosh, everyone. Bane was just here. I'm terrified. I don't even know if I could call Batman. Oh man, this is getting good. I got another video for all of you. This time, it's how to draw Bane. And as you can see right now, all I'm doing is I'm going to teach you. I'm going to walk you through it and teach you. But the first few parts, first minute or so, I'm just sketching. And this is sped up really fast, but I'm just getting the basic shapes down. So this is very important when you're drawing. You want to start getting proportions before, especially if you're doing something detailed like a portrait or anything like this. Always start with big shapes you can work with, and make sure your proportions. So what I'm checking now, I'm making sure the eyes are where they are, and for the mask, I marked the middle because the mask on the bottom is about halfway length of the whole face that you're drawing. And so right now I'm just sketching little marks. I'm making little light marks with the pencil of where each little bolt and everything's going to go in the mask, where each thing is, and I'm marking it. I'm keep checking the location of the eye to see if it's, you want to make sure it's level, like a vertical line going up through the pupil. You want to make sure it's not passing that on the left side. So I'm just making a bunch of marks, just like I said, it's like you're mapping out a map, uncharted map, and you know that's a big way when it comes to drawing. You really are just mapping out something, and it's amazing how absorbed you can get in it. And to reiterate again, I started off doing the left side of the face, just big shapes, then the middle, and now I'm making the details. Like now I'm working on the face. I'm not bringing every detail, but I'm just making enough marks so I know what part goes where, what's next, and just getting a hang for what's going on. And now I'm doing a little darker on the side to make it stand out and just to know there's marks there. So whenever you do something with a lot of detail, the best advice is always start with a sketch of your easiest shape you can work with. Like I wouldn't want to just start sketching randomly each bolt. Instead I want to sketch kind of the general outline of where it sits, and now I'm working it in. Now I'm going back and getting these forms because the mask, you know, is so complicated, and that's why I just did a video on the face and not the whole body, and that's a big deal. And once again, I'm just coming in now and making other marks, and I'm also looking at the top bolts. I'm making sure they're the same thickness, same length, not the same length, but just a general same way as the top ones because they're pretty much the same. And I'm making sure the middle. And the best way is just the best way to make sure everything's proportioned is keep looking at the lines as if, like the outside line of the mask I did, it breaks the plane of the face just a little, but barely anything. So that's very helpful. You know, you always want to keep looking where it sits with the rest of the face, and that's why I broke it down to proportions at first. And a really huge tip and advice is if you start with good proportions, if you start with good shapes, basically if you start with a drawing that has everything correct in terms of proportions, where things are going to sit, you know, there's no way you can mess up. And that's why I love to do that. I love to always start with getting the basic mapping done, where all the forms are going, because then I can have fun, then I can be artistic. Because, you know, it's kind of like when you're doing the mapping and things, you have to almost be analytical and think, okay, this is where this goes, and you're mentally jotting down points. But then you can start to be artistic and really break free from that and worry about your lines, your line pressure, the color, just, you know, if you're painting the color and just all these different things. And right now I'm just drawing the eye. I'm darkening it in. Now I'm starting to darken it in, and he's got wrinkles under the eyes. And now that I got the basic forms, and what you can see is I started with those two bolts. Those two bolts in the middle were the first things I darkened. And the reason is because those two bolts kind of control the entire drawing, because they're kind of the biggest focal points of the whole face. And that's why I started with them, because being that I did that, it's much easier now to get the entire rest of the drawing done due to that because I have that proportion, and I know the eye sits almost just below those two bolts. So it's a lot easier to draw the rest now. Now I'm just marking up the vein and with a darker pencil. I believe I used a 5B, which B is a softer lead, so it'll make darker lines, better lines like that. And now I'm just doing the outline going back. And if you notice on the head, I didn't make a straight line. Like, you can see how I kind of make one mark go this way, then mark come in, then a mark go out. And that's very important when you get into drawing. You know, you want to make dynamic marks. You don't want to make, well, depending what you're drawing, but like for this, you don't want to make just a circle shape. You don't want it to be a pure one circle line. You want it to have different little angles and lines within each one. And an amazing artist who does that, and that's why I really love him, is, I mention him a lot, is Jim Lee. Jim Lee is amazing because he's great at that. He just, like, he'll draw an eye and he'll make it curve up, then he'll make it curve down. And that's why, just check out his work if you haven't. He's great at making many angles with the lines and doing different things like that. And so right now I'm just adding wrinkles and things, working in the other eye. And now I start the mask. And this is amazing because I already got the light lines in. So now all I have to do is come back and just follow with the pencil the lines I made and darken it. And making sure I keep the same thickness of each one and same shapes and everything. And what I did was I made the back between each bolt, I made it very dark. That way it makes the other ones pop out more. And that was a big help getting that done. So now I'm just working it in and doing the side one here. And so now I got the basic forms in. Just pretty simple. Oh, and if anyone's listening right now, please check out my new website. I just made a website and stuff. And it's up right now. And it's really awesome. It'll have your drawings. I put a section on dedicated to all of you, where if you send me your drawings, I'll put it on that page and people can see it. And also, please join the forum. The forum is going to be awesome. It'll have people submitting their drawings on there, lots of interaction, lots of cool things. And right now, I just took the blending stump, and I'm just blending in between the spaces again, making sure it's real dark behind there so the other parts pop out more. And finally, just doing the curve on the bottom, getting the rest of the face mask in. Yeah, but please check out the forum, everyone. The link's on my channel. It should be really good. And soon I'm going to have a video of this month's theme for everyone to try to draw. So now I'm just coming in, pushing the values. You can see I'm starting to really push the values in. And then I'm taking a mechanical pencil and I'm making each little line on the bolt so that way you can see the ridges of the bolt. And the reason I use the mechanical pencil now is because I can get more detail in. I can get a darker line and a crisper line, which is important. Because something to note, which is very important on this drawing, is texture. Texture is a huge important deal when it comes to this, because you know, you can see how I did the texture of the skin. The texture of the skin, you want it to look soft, natural, like, you know, skin, like flesh-like. And then when it comes to the mask, you want it to look like metal and harsh. So that's why I used a different pencil too to bring that out. And then I'm just erasing some of these, making parts lighter, and I made the little air breath holes or whatever it is. Just doing simple circles. I'd say that's about it in terms of the finished drawing. Use the pencil here and the pupils. Then I'm going back with the blending stump around the eyes. I made it darker, making little marks again on the skin. So that's basically the finished drawing here. Just coming in again, making it darker in between. Now I'm using the blending stump to blend it. And real quickly, I just make it darker again, come in once again, pushing the values. And of course, in the finished drawing, it's much, much darker. That's the one you saw at the beginning of the video. Then for the neck, just following this real basic line. And he's got these curves in his skin, which just flow on the body. And then I did the coat real quick. I just put a line. I made the line just like a real fluffy looking, just like the coat is. And all I did for the texture of that, I just made a bunch of little ridges, like little U shapes sticking out different ways. And so it wasn't too bad. I barely spent any time on the coat because that was more important and focused on actually drawing the face and things. So I say that's about it. There I go. I'm just making little circle shapes. Little like U shapes, different ways, varying ways, just to get the texture in. I could have really took my time, but like I said, you know, I didn't really I just want to get the face in. But, you know, just making different marks, sometimes you can add different textures and things. And that's pretty much the final thing. You can keep watching, it'll keep going, but check out my other videos if you can, please. They'll be at the end of this. And thank you everyone for subscribing. Thank you for checking out, and I'll keep making more videos to come.